Hey everyone. So today I want to talk about why it is so important to have a lot of protein when you're trying to lose weight. So when I talked at the women's retreat over the weekend, coupled with a conversation that I had with a lady in the gym, she said that she was told that when you're trying to lose weight, you shouldn't eat a lot of protein. And when I questioned the women over the weekend how much protein they ate, it just reconfirmed to me the underconsumption of protein um, and veggies and the overconsumption of carbs and fats. So protein is the most satisfying macronutrient out of the three. So when we eat a lot of carbs and fats, we tend to keep snacking because we're not full. We haven't eaten that protein, that source of protein, that's kind of kept us fuller for longer. Protein helps with muscle protein synthesis as well. So every 3 hours, our ability to develop muscle decreases. So we want to be able to top that up every 3 hours. So it rapidly spikes when we consume our protein. Muscle protein synthesis happens. We build up our muscles. We assist in recovery, and then it starts to drop again. So another thing with protein as well, with regards to muscle building, is it helps with fat metabolism. So the more muscle you have, the higher your fat metabolism is. So if there was two 60-kilo females and one had more muscle mass than the other, she would just burn fat like so much more easier just because she has more muscle mass on her. So when someone comes to me for weight loss, I get them into strength. I get them into weights. I get them lifting heavy shit because the more muscle that they can build, the more efficient their body becomes at burning fat. So yeah, there's lots and lots of reasons why we should consume protein, but some of the reasons that stick out for me when I collect data from my clients is that lacking of lean muscle mass. So under consumption of protein leading to that lacking of muscle mass, and snacking. So snacking is a big one. So especially when it comes to like 3 p.m. or after dinner, if they haven't set themselves up during the day by having a high protein meal, then they feel hungry and they want a snack, and then there's guilt associated with that, and it can be a very vicious cycle to get into. So a bit of a checklist for you with regards to protein consumption. So I've done a bit of a checklist for the women on the weekend. So what a really good day of protein consumption would look like is a big ass omelette for breakfast. So a few eggs, and then you chuck in all your veggies, like your mushroom, your spinach, your red onion, like whatever floats your boat, whack it in there, tomatoes. So that would be for breakfast. So you've got a big omelette for breakfast, or however else you like your eggs, like poached, scrambled. I sound like Forrest Gump, fried shrimp, pickled shrimp, but you get the gist. Like any type of eggs, fantastic. And then for lunch, you'd have a big ass salad with a heap of chicken breast. And then for dinner, you'd have some salmon or some steak. Now, with regards to those serving sizes, you want them to be the palm of your hand, or approximately 150 grams of protein. That would be a proper serving of protein. And the great thing about using your hands for measurements is you can take your hands anywhere, and everyone is different. So if you're a really small person, you've got small hands, which, you would assume that you would eat less food because you're a smaller person. If you're a really big person, you have large hands, then you need to eat more food to support your lean muscle mass. So yeah, about the palm of your hand with regards to protein. When it comes to fats, because they're the most heavily dense macronutrient, we want to think about a thumb. With regards to our veggies, we want to think about a fist, and we want to have a fist or two. I'm going a bit off track, but when we talk about carbs, it's a cupped hand. But back to protein. You want to be hitting a palm of protein every single meal. So 3 meals a day. Extra points, added bonus, if you're between meals, include a source of protein as well. So that could look like a protein shake, some branched chain amino acids, a can of tuna, some slow cooked shredded chicken that you've done the night before, to really build on that lean muscle mass, to keep you fuller for longer, to help with recovery, all those sorts of things. So that is one of the first things I delve into with regards to my nutrition clients is take a snapshot of how much they're eating, when they're eating it, what they're eating, their sleep, their energy, their stress, their movement, their steps, like collectively, like a whole heap of data. And then we start to break it down from there. And one of the first things I get them to do, I don't give them meal plans necessarily. That really does depend on the type of person, the goals, and the situation. But I say, let's just focus. And this is my strategy. I build on habits. I don't build on quick fixes. I don't go, here's a plan, just go do it, because that's really, really overwhelming. I say let's focus on one thing this week or for the next 2 weeks, and the main thing to start off with is protein. So increasing your protein intake. And I'm starting to implement the lower and upper limits. Okay, so lower limit would be absolute minimum, lower limit, 2 palms of protein a day. Upper limit, 5 palms of protein a day, and working within that range. So again, another thing that I work with my clients is that mindset, like getting rid of that all or nothing or failure. Like if you didn't hit your 3 or your 5 servings of protein a day, you didn't fail. Because that just kicks off that vicious cycle yet again. Belief cycle and habits is another story in itself. But so what was I talking about? So yeah, we look at protein. So setting the upper and lower limits, and you can do this with anything. You can do this with your step count. I want to get a lower limit of 2,000 steps a day, and I want to get an upper limit of 7,000 steps a day. I want a lower limit of 2 workouts a week and an upper limit of 5 workouts a week, and working within a range as opposed to that all or nothing kind of thing. Like I have to hit 5, I have to drink 3 liters, I have to do this, I have to do that. Setting all the rules and restrictions leads to deprivation, scarcity mindset, and that's where most diets fail, because there's too many rules and restrictions. But if you look at building habits, and especially starting with protein for fat loss in particular, then it's a fantastic place to start. So that's what I wanted to say today. Little protein message. If you haven't heard already, I'm giving away 8 weeks free online nutrition and lifestyle coaching. So I will be drawing the winner this Thursday night at 7 p.m. So I'll drop the link below. All you need to do is enter your details and you're in the draw, which is pretty cool. So I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you again soon.